it's up in the air and it's taken. First wicket departs for Seattle here. Dritty gone for a 4-ball duck, and Neha gets the first wicket in the first over once again. And Seattle skipper Anika Colin is out to bat. She's out fairly early to bat today. She did have a good knock of 47 yesterday, and she will be looking to stabilize the innings and make some runs today once again. Oh, that one stays low and it goes through the keeper as well, and that will be 4 runs as buys. And Seattle's inning is off the mark. It's been a great over so far. No runs off the bat, and they all will be looking to finish this over off well. Runs in for the final delivery of this over, and that's another miss. Or yeah, here, and that is the end of the first over. Naga Kovary will be bowling the second over of the innings today on the other end. Shalon Khan getting ready to face her first delivery. this one out. That was a good first out here by Anaga. Second delivery coming up here by Anaga. And that is up in the air once again. And safely taken by um Neha here. Shalon Khan departs for a two ball duck here, and Seattle is in a bit of trouble being 4 for 2 in the first 8 ball of the innings.
So, Nithik, what do you think of the day so far, and how do you think it's going to shape up in both games today?
I think the wicket looks to be on the slower side today. I think um, it should be still a decent wicket to bat on, but I think the overall totals will be slightly lower compared to yesterday. And I think as the day goes on, the pitch, some cracks will start showing up, and I think it will be getting more difficult to bat as the day progresses.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's pretty damp right now. It's hard.
And that's pulled away for 4 runs by Isani here. First ball. Um, that was a little bit of a loose ball by Anaga here, straight after her wicket. And she will be looking to bounce back, but I think this delivery has given Isani a lot of confidence up here first ball, and she will be looking to capitalize on this confidence and carry on her innings to score a big one here. Isani looking to come back here with her fourth delivery. And a low full toss push to mid-off, safely stopped by Neha here. Just 4 runs off the over so far.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw a lot of blistering power plays. We saw 46, 47 in the power play. Um, based on the wicket right now with it starting pretty dense, what do you think is a good power play total for them?
I think, as they've already lost 2 wickets here, I think they should be aiming for, I think anywhere close to 45 would be a good total for them. I don't think they need to go too above and beyond, considering the wicket is on the slower side today, and it will be getting harder to bat as the day progresses. But I think with 2 wickets early on here, I think 40 in the mid 40s should be a good total here for the power play. Cons um, Considering that they don't lose any more wickets.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's played on this wicket, what do you think of choosing batting first in a morning game here?
I think that's what I would have done as well. I think it gets harder to
Worse,
bat.
yeah.
The cracks start opening, the ball starts turning more. I think it was the right decision here by Seattle winning the toss up here in the morning.
Yeah, I totally agree. On the other side of that too, though, since it is damp right now, it could dry out in the second innings and break in the second game. So there is a risk factor involved in that as well.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. 8 runs here for 2 wickets, the first 2 overs here, but I don't think Seattle will mind that as long as they don't lose any more wickets, considering that they have such a powerhouse batting lineup lined up for them, and if they hold their wickets, runs will come.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they have such a deep batting lineup that they don't need to worry about the quick early wickets because there's so much depth in the batting that they don't need to reminisce over the fact that they lost 2 wickets.
Yeah. Yeah. This is another good delivery by Neha here, encouraging the batsman to poke at it, um, trying to get that outside edge, carrying to the keeper. I think this is the right idea by Neha here.
We have the captain and the woman in form here in the ground right now. So I think the hopes are still very high for the Seattle Thunders here, and the one thing that could bring the Southern Spirits on top in the power play and throughout the rest of the game is how they dominate this power play. But with the runs leaking right now and not giving them free runs, I feel like they could capitalize on these early wickets.
That's a good single. Rotating the strike here, building pressure on the fielding side. I think this is the right idea by Seattle. No need to go for some crazy shots. I think it's right that they're taking those quick singles, building pressure on the fielder, and that's how runs will come. Neha coming in for a third ball, and that is a go out swinging delivery. Isani pokes at it and is not able to find any bat on that ball.
Yeah, I think there's really good movement off the wicket and in the air today with the wind blowing from the mountainside. It's a great shot over mid wicket. It's racing away to the boundary there. Well placed by Isani. It's 4 runs on the board.
Sani is looking in good touch here. I think that boundary off her first ball did give her a really good confidence boost, and she is looking to capitalize on that. She's looking good touch, she's able to find the middle of the bat, and I think she should keep carrying on her innings, which she will aim to do as well.
Yeah, I think she's taking that confidence from yesterday, having a match-winning innings, chasing a total that wasn't a small total on this wicket. Chasing 157 down was not an easy task. So I don't know if you noticed, but we have seen a couple balls go very close to that helmet back there, and we could be seeing a 5-run penalty in the future.
I think second down leg wide of the over, and Neha is just starting to miss her line a little bit, and she will be looking to come back from that in the final 2 deliveries of this over.
Just nudge there to point. From yesterday night, Dick, I feel that the batting has not taken that approach of taking those quick singles like I did see yesterday in the second game. I feel like the batters are getting stuck at their crease and not able to get on strike. Also, compliments to the fielders putting pressure and taking those starts to stop those quick singles.
Yeah, for sure, is Chitnani. I definitely think that those 2 early wickets may play a big factor in that. I think they need to just start loosening up here and start taking those quick singles too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what's going to really bring them back into the game here is able to take a single every other ball.
Yeah.
Because wides are flowing, and if we take singles every other ball, I feel you can get 8 runs, 9 runs and over just like that.
Yeah. Neha coming in for the final delivery of her over. and it has been called a wide by the umpire. Third wide of this over, and they are just starting to feel a little bit of pressure now.
Yeah, I think that that boundary really threw off her line there. She was sticking to her lines very well before this, and in the first over she had bowled. But you know that shot was something that required timing and patience. Another great shot there, looking for the gap again. Good use of the wrists. Hitting those gaps very consistently and making sure these fielders are running and running to get the ball off from past the boundary.
Yeah, a big over here. Um, uh, 13 runs coming off it, and Seattle has caught up on their run rate now. I think the pressure is just starting to ease off of Seattle and build on Southern Spirits a little more.
You know, T20 is funny, and I think I feel like it's a game of one over here and there. One over could have 3 wickets and go completely towards the bowling side, and another over could give 15 to 20 runs and go to the batting side. It's such a quick game that could tip the scales in either way with small moments.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think it's the right decision by Southern Spirits here to bring on a spinner early on this innings because Toge is known to have slow turning tracks, and I think this is a good decision by Southern Spirits, reading the pitch well. It's another great delivery push to mid-off for another single here by
You know, we saw that yesterday too with Thunders bringing off spinner in the power play. You know, as a player yourself, how do you see a lot of off spinners coming in the power play, especially? It's a top class shot, straight over.
6 runs by Asani here, straight over the bowler's head, and I think she is carrying on her confidence from yesterday as well as early on today, and I think she will be looking to score a big one here. Pressure is on Anaga a little bit. Just seeing a replay of the 6 here. Step down the track to come to the pitch of the ball and beautifully launches it over the bowler's head for a maximum. And she does the same here again, once over a cow corner for another 6 maximum here. And Asani is looking to capitalize on this over.
Yeah, I mean, what a great use of feet twice now. Seeing some flight in the air and be able to reach the pitch on Tollgate is not an easy track to be able to step out, especially with the spin and turn and bounce on this wicket.
I think Seattle is back on top here after a few boundaries in the past 2 overs. I think their run rate is approaching 10 and over now, and the pressure is completely on Southern Spirits now, and Asani nudging it to long on for another single here.
Yeah, I know. I think we were talking about that the quick changes with the scale tips in each other's favor, and especially in T20 cricket. You know, last over we had a brilliant over from the batting side, and with 14 runs in the over, they really got back in that power play. And, you know, with these 2 6s, their run rate has climbed from about 6 to about almost 10.
And Andika looks to sweep this, going across the line, but misses everything and goes through the keeper's hands too for a Darn it. That was a good delivery by now gonna come back, looking to do the same for the final delivery here, and she does do that. Goes through the batsman once again, but not through the keeper this time, and that is another big over from Seattle.
Yeah, they're really looking to take on the bowlers now. Trying to use that power play to the best of their ability.
And Disha is introduced into the attack early on in the power play. Will be spin from both ends now. I think Isani is taking the role of making the quick runs here, while Anika is stabilizing the innings and making sure that no more wickets fall, which I think is a great approach by Seattle here. And Disha will be looking to pick up another wicket. And that is just nudge to mid off for another dot here.
With the wind blowing behind us and the bowler blowing against the wind, you think the batters look to take on this opportunity to try to hit it over and take on as many sixes as they can using the wind factor as well?
I think they would try to do that. Considering we're still in power play, they will be trying to maximize their runs in power play. Now that they have gone off to a fairly good start. And Disha coming in for her third ball here to Anika. Use of
Very
her
well
feet
played.
once again, and it is over. Long gone for another maximum here by Anika, joining the party along with Asani. And Seattle is well on top here with their run rate at 10, almost 10, in just being in the fifth over here. And as you can see, that was a brilliant use of her feet once again.
Yeah, and I think every single maximum that's went out of the ground right now has all been from stepping out and reaching that pitch for the spinners. I think it's a very good option, and the way these ladies are doing it, they're doing it very well.
Yeah, for sure. Disha looking to come back here on her fourth delivery, and she pitches this one short, and it is just pushed to point for a single, and a fumble allows them to complete that run easily.
That was hit back to the bowler. It could have been a catch chance there, but just a bit away from the bowler. We saw this yesterday in the second game, first innings. There's a lot more strategy with having an anchor and someone just going after the ball. That's well hit again.
Use of her feet once again does not go all the way for 6, but that does go to the boundary for 4 runs here. And Anika is looking in good touch here, and this is the partnership that Southern Spirits would want to break, as this is the dangerous duo of Seattle.
Okay.
Just seeing the replay of that boundary here. Brilliant use of her feet once again by Anika here.
Yeah, I mean, looking back to it again, we were talking about how all the maximums have come from stepping out. It looks like all the fours as well are going to be joining that.
And just as Seattle was starting to dominate these spinners, Southern Spirits have introduced a new bowler here, Vaishnavi. Uh, Southern Spirits have gone back to pace here after the past 2-3 overs of spin being capitalized by Seattle. And Vaishnavi will be looking to break this partnership.
Yesterday, Vaishnavi did end up taking 3 wickets in her game. So this is a good option, and she is coming off a lot of wickets here.
Yeah, just the first ball here, getting a little bit of extra bounce, catching Isani off guard here. And that is a wide by Vaishnavi here. I think her pace seems to be a little bit slower than the rest of the bowlers, which could still benefit her here as the wicket is also slow. And I think Seattle will be looking to capitalize on this over as it is the last over of power play as well. And that is pushed to long on, but does not carry all the way, and that is well done by Neha to stop that from going to the boundary.
Yeah, we're seeing all the flurry of shots come out right now. I think at the starting, they're playing very tentative, and after these last 3 overs, a lot of their free-flowing shots are going out.
And that is a great slower delivery by Vaishnavi here. Anika just blocks this one out. 3 balls remaining in the power play here, and Anika will be looking to capitalize on those 3 balls. And she comes down the pitch trying to hit this over the bowler's head once again, but the slower pace on this just allows this to carry to the keeper, and Anika is not able to get back on this. Just 2 balls remaining in the power play, which has been great so far from Seattle's perspective, and Southern Spirits will be looking to pick up a wicket here in these final 2 deliveries of the power play.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the higher power plays of the tournament so far, with 50 runs and with 2 balls remaining. This could be almost a 10-run and over power play.
Vaishnavi coming in for her 5th ball, and that is hit on the pads in the bowler, and a half-hearted appeal from the fielding side suggesting that that was going down leg. And 1 leg by run here by Anika. The final delivery of the power play coming up here. Vaishnavi looking to just not concede a boundary here. And that is called wide by the umpire.
What a was just a good over. Could always go bad with these extras. She was just on 3 runs with her last ball to be bowled, which would have been one of the top overs of the power play.
That's punched to short covers. Well stopped. Miscommunication here, and
It is missed by the keeper.
There was trouble for Anika here, but a fumble from the keeper has allowed them to complete this run. I think this may prove to be one of the costlier opportunities for Southern Spirits, missing out on getting Seattle's captain run out, as you see.
Yeah, there was a ton of time there. Just a clean collection would have sent her walking back to the dugout.
I think this was a really important point in the match which will be looked back upon on if the results don't go Southern Spirit's way. But still a long time to go for that. And I think Southern Spirits will just be looking to spread out the field a little bit more and try to create more opportunities, trying to break this partnership.
Yeah, I think the longer that these two bat on the wicket, the worse it's going to be for the Southern Spirits. You know, they were in such a Thunders were in such a bad position at the starting, losing two early wickets. You know, captain and Isani coming in, really bringing it back and settling down all the troubles that were happening in the Thunder's dugout.
Yeah. Disha will be looking to come back from her slightly expensive first over, and will be looking to make a comeback from
It's
that.
a
That
full
is
toss
tossed
ball.
up, and a fumble at the boundary allows him to complete 2 runs.
Yeah, I think the game is going to be deferred on how they convert those ones into twos and how they take those quick singles, because it's really a game of just moving, getting off strike. Good flatter delivery there. Good comeback ball.
Asani just tapping this to short mid wicket here. Not taking any unnecessary risks. Tossed up once again. Finding the toe of the bat, pushing it to long on for just 1 run here.
You know, and I feel like we were just talking about the wind being behind the batsman, but now I feel like the wind has just shifted to be bowling with the bowler.
That is just pushed to short covers, and the batters are able to complete 1 run here. This is great running between the wickets by Asani and Anika here, really building pressure on Spirits here, bringing down their spirits. Final 2 deliveries of the over here, and this is pushed to long on once again, aiming to get 2 runs, but they will have to settle for just 1 here. Good fielding at the boundary there.
You know, just looking at the field too, I feel the batters, I'm not sure if they have targeted yet or counted in yet, but the 30-yard, the fielders inside the 30-yard circle are all on the ropes.
Yeah, this is a defensive field here by Southern Spirits, and this is just a delicate touch from Anika here to find leg, allows him to complete 2 runs. A drifting down leg ball by Disha to end this over. And the pressure is still on Southern Spirits here with the run rate almost at 9 runs and over here. I think Seattle has brilliantly came back from their 2 early wickets with these 2 batters at the crease with a strong reputation behind them, proving to live up to that reputation and save Seattle once again. And they will be looking to bat throughout this innings here, which is exactly what the Spirits will be trying to not let happen. And Vaishnavi will be bowling her second over here.
Yeah, it was a good comeback over from Disha from her first over going for 12 runs. I think this is the time we're going to see either they're going to carry on the innings or we're going to see a lot of slowdown in the run rate, especially with the field restrictions opened up.
Yeah. Vaishnavi, her first over was a good one, just 5 runs coming off it, 2 of them being wides. She will be looking to control those wides this over. And Asani taking her mark to face this next delivery. Another slower delivery here by Vaishnavi, just pushed down to long on for 1 run here by the batters.
Yeah, I'm sensing a lot of movement in the air there, taking the inside edge of Isani's bat. She was really aiming towards more long offside, I feel, and it did end up going to long on. So there is looks to be some movement in the air and something troubling the batters.
Think the wind from this end is supporting the batters here, which they will be looking to capitalize on. And that is a full toss push down to long off for just 1 run here. Isani already at 33 off 21 here. Great, great innings by her so far. And just pushes this to backward square leg and does not go all the way, but they are able to complete 2 runs. This is great running here by the batters. Vaishnavi coming in for her 4th delivery of this over. Oh, that was a great one blocked out here by Asani. Vaishnavi has looked to be promising so far today. She will be looking to carry this on tomorrow as well. The batsman really having to wait on the delivery on a slow pitch is proving to be a really good upside for Vaishnavi here, as they are just not able to come to the pitch of the ball and and pick those balls up early like they have been doing to the spinners. I think this is great bowling by Vaishnavi here, and she will be looking to finish this over off well. And a fuller delivery here, just pushed to long on for 1 run. So 8 over 66 for 2 here. Shreyas, what do you make of this so far?
Yeah, I think the batters are going great so far. I'm sure they're looking to capitalize and get more boundaries on it too. We saw around this run rate required yesterday as well in almost both games with high totals being made. We don't see it often on Tollgate, so it's well done by the groundsman to get that wicket back into life.
For sure, yeah.
So and I feel as the time goes by, with the cracks forming, do you feel it's going to be more of a spinners game? Do you see that more spinners are going to be bowling in the power play throughout the tournament, or do you feel like that the teams are going to stick with their pace bowling options and try to just go the natural way?
I think I think they would definitely try to bring their spinners on with the reputation of this pitch being more of a spinner's wicket. But I think these batters have done great so far to really use their feet and get to the pitch of the ball to cover that spin. And I think that is one of the factors which will help the bowling side decide if they want to continue with spin or carry on with pace, depending on how the batters are using their feet and approaching the game. And Neha is back for her 3rd over here, bowling to Anika here.
Great ball, really tempting the batsman to go for that cut. You
I
know,
think I think it's a great decision by Southern Spirits here to bring on uh, two pacers from both end with varying speeds, which is not letting the batter settle to one speed and really forcing them to make adjustments every ball here. I think this is great. This is a great strategy by Southern Spirits, and another swing and a miss here by Nika. It's a great delivery by Neha.
Yeah, I mean it's experience versus experience. Both have been a part of the national setup. You know, really a battle of, I'd say, patience, because this wicket is not something that is a flat wicket that they can just go through the line on. So whoever is waiting for that slip up is going to be the one who's going to be on top.
For sure, yeah. And I think Southern Spirits have done a great job to bring this run rate back down to 8 here, which did almost approach 10 during the power play. I think they've made a great comeback from that. And Neha with her fourth delivery, this was a great uh, change of pace here by her, forcing the batters to keep adjusting and never get settled to one speed. I think this is great strategizing by Spirits and Neha here, with the run rate just falling below 8 and over now. Another great delivery by Neha here, wide 6 stump line, and Anika is not able to get any bat on that either. 4 dots piling up now, and the pressure is starting to build up on Anika now. With just 1 ball left in the over, she might just look to play this out and get through this over and capitalize from the other end, where she will have the support of the wind as well. A slower delivery by Neha here, but finds the wrong line, and that goes down leg. Anika feels that she has missed out on this loose delivery here. Neha looking to finish off this over well. Outside edge to short third over here, and a small little fumble allows him to complete 1 run. The pressure still building up on Anika, but she will be looking to put this pressure back on the bowlers from the other end, where the wind will be supporting the batters.
Yeah, I think a great comeback over from Neha there. Giving a decent amount of runs in her second over, but her first over being tight. Pulling back from that end, especially using the wind to try and make the batters poke out at the offside balls. Being really smart with it. She picked up the factor that Anika was not able to hit those outside off ones very easily, and she was exploiting it to her best ability.
Yeah. And there seems to be a new bowler introduced into the attack here from the other end.
Okay.
And Aishwarya will be bowling.
That was good.
Aishwarya Motri will be bowling here from the other end. Pace from both ends here now. Just it. And Aishwarya Motri will be coming in from the other end. And just a bit aside information, she is actually a doctor as well, having completed her education in dentistry, and she is a fantastic cricketer as well. She will be looking to pick up some wickets from this end. And this is just cut to covers for just 1 run here.
Yeah, I think a lot of women love the game of cricket, but never had the opportunity to play early on in this setup. You know, seeing these tournaments pop up and really giving opportunities for people to come back in the game is really eye opening, and it's really good to see letting people come back to their first love. It's hit through covers. It's gone. It's racing away to the boundary, and it's just stopped before that. Longoff got a great effort to reach that ball.
That is hit hard to covers, but should have been a regular piece of fielding for short covers here, but goes through and allows the batters to complete 2 runs here. This delivery was on the shorter side from Aishwarya, but I think overall she looks in good rhythm here, and she will be looking to expand on that and hopefully pick up some wickets. Just pushed back and stopped by Aishwarya here. I think the Spirits have done great to pull back this game, as the run rate is just about at 7.5 and over now. I think we're approaching more to a typical toll gate score here, with despite the power play being relatively high scoring. I think the Spirits have done great to pull that back. Just messing up a run up here, Aishwarya will be having to bowl that again.
Yeah, I know. I think we really talked about that about our final total we had in mind. I think it really does carry on how they run those quick singles in these middle overs. You know, with the field spread, it's hard to clear the boundary with a wicket like this. I think it's going to be really hard for them to really go for that 150 total if they're not able to rotate strike. And if they're getting a stuck on strike, we're going to look at more of like a 120, 130, which is has not been successfully defended so far.
Just a few wides every over here and there is just stopping uh, a lot of pressure from forming on the batters here. I think Spirits will be looking to contain these wides and build as much pressure as possible. What do you make of that missed run out chance? How big do you think that will play in the rest of the game?
You know, I think talking yesterday too. I think the game's won and lost in fielding. You know, if they don't capitalize on these chances where they can get these batsmen who are now getting set in out, it's gonna really affect their game and their chances of winning, guys.
Yeah, um, just 2 wides here. The difference between 3 ball 3 runs and 3 ball 5 runs. I think it is important for the Spirits to contain their and limit their wides as much as possible. Just push to mid wicket here, looking to get 2 runs, but is well cut off by the fielders at the boundaries running in.
You know, what are your thoughts on like this tournament bringing a mix of youth and experience together to try to like grow the women cricketing community in the U.S.?
I think this is an absolutely great initiative by um by this tournament here, and I think the throw at the wrong end again, proving again a little bit of miscommunication between the batters here. A chance created at the non-striker's end, but throw at the wrong end allows him to safely go back to their crease. I think these are the half chances that the Spirits need to capitalize on. And going back to your question, yeah, I think this is a great initiative by the Seattle cricketing community here to really form this tournament, and with the intentions of expanding women's cricket here, and I think giving them the opportunity to play on these wickets among these facilities with with all these resources and everything is really well done by the Seattle cricketing community here. Just a mid-innings water break here. I think the chats with the Southern Spirits here will be to really capitalize on those half chances, contain those wides.
You know, really looking back at the scorecard here, you can see that both openers gone for a duck. Um, well done by Neha taking those early wickets. You know, especially losing those two early wickets, especially in a power play in a T20, could really affect mentally on a team. But it's very well done by the captain and Isani to get back into the game, especially with Isani playing at a great strike at 144.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely really well done by both of these batters here, forming this partnership. And with still a lot of batting to go for Seattle, I think this was the important partnership that Seattle needed after those quick 2 wickets. Especially shout out to Isani's innings here, 39 off 27, really putting the pressure back on the bowlers while Anika is just rotating strike and um, and not allowing any more wickets to fall.
Yeah, I think that strategy that they have of having an anchor and someone really going at the bowlers here is a really good strategy. We saw yesterday that worked as well. You know, especially with Isani being a great touch from yesterday, and Anika just being able to rotate the strike out there and really give strike to Isani. It's really going to help them in the long run, and saving those wickets for later on is really going to help them put that higher total.
Yeah, for sure. Just look at the lineups here, as you guys have just seen. A lot of power pack batting lineup for Seattle Thunders here, with still power hitters come yet to come with Swati Singh, Giovanna Aras, um, and a lot of their others batters still yet to come. I think Seattle will be looking to capitalize on their in their last 10 overs, and really trying to make the best use of this the great foundation that they have set up.
Yeah, I think having such a foundation, especially having early wickets on in the power play, really taking the game deep, really gives less pressure towards the batters coming in towards the later end of the game to really go and unleash their shots in their entire arsenal to try to get as many runs as possible. You know, looking at the score chart here, we can see a bit of a flurry of runs in the 3, 4, and 5 overs. But after that, the Southern Spirits pulled back very well to keep it below an 8-run max for the next 4 overs after that.
Yeah, I think they've done great to bring that run rate down to about 7.5 and over. And just look at the points table here. Houston Hurricanes and Seattle Thunders being at the top, with the Hurricanes being ahead by uh, a good net run rate after their big win yesterday by around 40 to 50 runs. I think that was really well played by them yesterday, and they will be looking to do the same today in the second game of the day as well. I think just a bit of groundwork being done here, just relabeling the crease uh, here. Just a little bit of interruption in play, just some groundswork being done. I think allowing both the teams to catch their breath and um, gather their attention and really focus back here.
All right, just about to get back into it after their little quick water break, 10 over break here. I think what do you feel as you're watching the game right now? What do you think the final score could be in the first innings?
I think we're looking at something similar to yesterday once again. I think 150 would be a defendable score here, considering that Seattle's bowling is also good. But I think on the safer side, they would be aiming to go for around 160, 170, which is very well possible after the great start that Anika and Asani have provided Seattle, and we'll continue to capitalize on that.
Yeah, we're still yet to see something break past the 160 mark here. I think it's really this game has been really well set up for it by the batters, taking their time and taking it really deep. I think how they continue now and how they take on these last back end of overs is really going to help them.
And Vaishnavi just switching ends here. I think this is a great strategic move, with Vaishnavi's pace being slightly slower than the other pacers, encouraging the batters from Seattle to hit against the wind, against that slower pace, and attempt to create those opportunities is great thinking by the Southern Spirits here. I think a little bit of a loose delivery pull.
Yeah, as we were just talking about it, trying to get them to hit straight, the ball tends to drift a bit short for the wicket, and Isani easily capitalizes on that. Very strong in that area.
Yeah, I think the intention of Vaishnavi should and will be is to pitch it up here and really encourage the batters from Seattle to hit straight. Just like this delivery up in the air, and the
It's
catch is dropped by the long-off fielder here.
As we were talking about this again, these chances are what is going to be very vital to this game here. We saw an early chance with Anika in the start with the run out, and now we see another drop catch of the woman in form, Isani.
Yeah, I think this will definitely prove to be really costly. Anika and Asani both have been given several chances, half chances here, and I think
Looks to be hit a bit here. I think it might have just slipped through and hit her on the face. I'm going back to it. These fielding opportunities are really going to be costly in the end game, and as a team, I'm sure Southern Spirits are going to analyze and talk about this after the game as well. Especially dropping two big fish and giving them lives is really going to play a toll on them.
just as you see, able to come under the ball, but just not able to fit it. I think just misjudges that a little bit, comes a bit too much forward, and the ball hits her straight on the face here. I think she seems to be okay now, which is good news for the Southern Spirits. But I think this will be a really big missed opportunity. But shout out to Vaishnavi here for executing the plan really well. Just as we were talking, getting the Isani to hit against the wind. And even better was that she bowled wide and full, which encouraged her to hit to log off just where the fielder was placed. Unfortunately, Southern Spirits weren't able to capitalize on this chance, but I think this is really good execution by Vaishnavi after that one loose delivery, and she will be looking to do the same in the final delivery here.
Yeah, I think it's really important that the fielders support the bowlers here, and especially when the bowlers create a chance. It's really important to back them, because those opportunities don't come very often.
Yeah, and a great over once again by Vaishnavi. Just one boundary coming off it, but I think still creating those chances, and Southern Spirits won't mind that.
You know, and I feel like almost every over we're getting a boundary here. And what do you think? Do you feel it's the tenacity of the batsman, or it's the loose balls that the bowling side has been giving to them?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, both these batters are really good at what they do, being in the national setup for a long time here, well experienced. But I think they've also been given those loose deliveries, which they would obviously capitalize on, being such experienced players. I think spirits are just not allowing that pressure to completely pile up, which will be costly for them as they are trying to chase down this total later on in the day. And Ashwarya Motri continuing from the other end. A
So
wide and full delivery, swatted back to long.
it's cracked through covers there, and it's racing away to the boundary, and it goes for four.
It's a brilliant shot here by Asani, approaching her 50 here, moving on to 49 off 30, just 33 deliveries here. This has been a great knock by her so far, and hopefully we'll be seeing her complete her half century very soon.
Yeah, just a bit of more of a fuller length there by Aishwarya, and Isani really capitalized on that, noticing that there wasn't anyone back towards the extra cover region and really hitting that really hard through the ground.
Yeah, I think that was an excellent shot by Asani. Not too bad of a delivery, just a little bit of extra width,
Oh, and that
but
is edge, and that does complete Isani's 50, the second one of the tournament. And it is all cheers from the Thunder's dugout, especially with Isani being able to carry through the innings.
brilliant knock by Asani here.
Coming in at a tough time and be able to carry like this is very, very mature of her.
I think Ashwarya is doing the right thing here, um, forcing the batsmen to really play away from their bodies, poke at the ball. But I think it's just the pure mastery and experience of these batters. And this is a brilliant shot over covers once again, going all the way to the boundary by Anika here, joining in the party. And just lofts this over covers for another boundary here. Just a little bit shorter from Aishwarya and a little bit of too much width here. Really now allowing Anika to free her arms and get that away for another boundary in this over.
Yeah, we're really seeing a quick field change there with seeing the extra cover fielder dropping back now. You know, if you saw the replay as well, there's a bit of movement off the wicket, and Anika really capitalized on that, seeing is coming into her.
And
That's
this
flicked.
has been chipped to wide long on for just one run here, not carrying to the fielder. I think Anika is playing underappreciated role here with her 31 off 31. She's just rotating that strike back to Asani, who's playing the aggressor role here and not allowing those dots to pile up, getting that odd boundary here and there. I think this is really well done by Anika as well, who is probably the most experienced player in this Seattle dugout. Good comeback delivery by Aishwarya here to finish off her over. And the run rate just approaching 8 and over now. Seattle will be looking to make the most out of this and really capitalize on their last 8 overs here.
Yeah, good over for the Thunders there. You know, really coming close to that 100-run mark, especially being only 12 overs in. I think where we could possibly see a 160 broken here. You know, a great day for cricket here in Tollgate Farm Park. You know, with a brilliant mountain behind us. It's always a great day to play cricket here.
And a great place to play as well. Beautiful sceneries all around here. Temperature also being pleasant, being in the mid 70s with a slight breeze. And Vaishnavi continuing from the other end. And this is another great delivery by Vaishnavi here, executing her plans delivery brilliantly, forcing the batters to play away from their bodies, pitching the ball up, trying to encourage that lofted shot, hoping to get a wicket out of that at the long on or long off fielders.
You know, being in the commentary booth, you get a new angle of the game. We can see that there's nobody behind.
And
There's nobody behind the point and backward region. You know, which were just off before the boundary there, which is where a lot of runs could be made, especially with the lines that Vaishnavi is maintaining, with a little nudge here and there. That is almost to every single ball, with having the entire backward region open.
just pushed to long off for another one run here. Great batting here by Nika.
Yeah, I think this partnership really needs to be broken here for the Southern Spirits to get back in the game. You know, taking these wickets is really gonna toll down on them, especially when they're chasing. Because the earlier that these wickets fall, the better it is for them, and the lower total that could be made.
And I think these odd wides, these buys, are really allowing the pressure to never fully build up on Seattle.
Yeah, I totally agree, Nithik. I think the pressure's really going to be built up where they restrict those runs and they try to get those maiden overs in because, you know, with all those dots, the batsmen have to do something to try to get in. That's where they're going to get their wickets.
Yeah, exactly. And just 100 runs coming up here for Seattle. Really well batted by Anika and Asani here.
It's a bit short, hit to mid wicket. Well done by the batters. Still rotating strike well.
Just one run here. I think Vaishnavi has been brought on here to get those wickets, which she is generating those chances, but I think Southern Spirits have just been a little lacked a little bit of um, lacked a little bit on the field today, missing those half chances, those catches. Another wide by Vaishnavi here. The run rate over 8 runs and over now. Seattle will be looking to make the best out of this and maybe even cross the 170, 180 mark today, which would be a brilliant total on this ground.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about yesterday too, the Southern Spirits weren't able to chase down what the Houston Hurricanes put up. You know, just seeing that I feel that they're more of a bowling side. I think they really need to capitalize more on these wickets and try to get these two-set batters out to really keep that total to the minimum as possible. I think if we let it ride to 170, 180, we're going to see a bit of a one-side game here, is what I feel.
Shreyas, what do you make of this professional setup provided to the girls here? Um, I think this is a great opportunity for the inexperienced, the ones newer to the game as well. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's always great to rub shoulders with people who are more experienced than you. You know, especially having environments like this where there's multiple cameras going at you and there's viewers watching you. I think it's really, really nice that people who are experienced and inexperienced get to play together and really, you know, learn from each other and create new bonds and build a better community for women's cricket in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you on that.
You know, going back to just looking at the live as well, there's a lot of different angles that we see in play. You know, we get ball tracking, we get we get straight on. It's great. We're very well done by Crick Center as well to have this set up and make sure it goes smoothly like this for everyone and the entire tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And Vaishnavi just completing her spell here. End of a good spell. Chances generated. 27 runs in her 24 deliveries. I think considering that the run rate is 8 and over, I think that was still a good spell by Vaishnavi, where she could have had a few more wickets than what is visible on the scorecard. But yeah, and a new bowler introduced here by the Spirits, which will be bowling, against the wind.
Dude, you know how to impact? All right, and start of 14th over.
New bowler here, Shrilaja, who is the impact player here for the Spirits today. And a little bit of a misfield by Sanvi out at backward square leg, but still just 1 run. I think Shrilaja will be looking to find her line and like a little bit better here, just getting warmed up. I think first leg spinner of today's game introduced here in the 14th over.
I believe that is the second. I think Disha was also bowling leg spin.
Yeah, apologies for the confusion. This is the second leg spinner introduced by Southern Spirits here.
I think it is a difficult end to bowl against too, especially with the wind blowing against her. It's gonna really tempt the batsman to try to go and use their feet and step out, try to hit those big ones.
And just as you're saying that, they did do exactly that. Just not able to find that elevation on that and just pushed too long off for 1.
Yeah, again, I think it's very important that they keep rotating strike here to really reach that 160, 170 mark we really are hoping to see, especially being 2-set batters. And I think, from my point of view, I feel like they could be taking a bit more risks as they do have such a deep batting lineup behind them.
Yeah.
As we speak of that, it is a full toss drifting down the leg and put away for 4 there. A lot of loose balls are still coming in, and the Southern Spirits are never really going to be on top if they keep giving these loose ones.
Really played by Anika, just capitalizing on those loose deliveries here and there, never allowing that pressure to build up. The run rate over 10 and over now, and you can really see the change of intent from the batters from Seattle here now, looking to charge down the wicket almost every delivery here.
Really looking back to that replay, these free runs are really going to be biting the Spirits back. Again, it's never over until the last ball, especially with T20 cricket. The game could go any way, in any place.
By Shrilaja here to finish off this over. And the run rate falling below 8 and over now. I think Seattle will be looking to take those chances now, knowing that they do have batters still yet to come with immense quality.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the balls that have been played too, Anika was dragging a bit down, but she has caught up with herself. But if we look at Isani was playing at about a 150 striker, but it's really, really gone down. And it's well done by the Spirits. It really shows how much they've been trying to control them. But I think, from an outsider's point of view, I feel these boundary balls, these loose balls, are really what's biting them back. And I think especially with their efforts that they're doing in their bowling, these 1-2 balls are really changing the momentum and not getting the batters under pressure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think there will be a change of ends here for Aishwarya, who will be bowling against the wind now. She could and likely would be aiming to do what Vaishnavi is doing, keep it away from the batters, pitch it up, encourage them to play those shots down the ground and hopefully create those chances.
It's cut, it's
And
over point, and it's gone racing away to the boundary for 4. Just a bit of width on offer there by the bowler, and we see it is capitalized on by Anika.
yeah, yeah, brilliant shot of immense quality here by Anika, approaching her 50 as well here. Has played a great supporting knock for Isani and is now really starting to join in on the act and really find those boundaries and take those risks now.
Yeah, I truly believe that being able to rotate strike on will is really an underrated skill in cricket these days, especially with a lot of maximums and boundaries being hit, and you don't see many singles being taken, especially on these tough wickets that aren't as flat. Being able to rotate strike and capitalize on those bad balls is really going to help them. And as we talk about it, it's sent to deep mid wicket, and it is dropped once again. These chances are meant to be taken by the Southern Spirits, and that is twice. And it is a 6. It is called a 6. I think her leg might have just crossed the boundary rope there. We're waiting for a replay here just to see. And that does bring up the captain's 50. A well-played knock by Anika Cole in there. Very mature, very supportive, and very smart.
Yeah, yeah. Starting off slow, Anika is then brilliantly to catch up on that strike rate and really get to almost the same strike rate as Isani now. And just called wide by the umpire here. I think Seattle is approaching is past 8.5 runs and over now. I think these are the crucial overs for both teams now. Seattle has done well to hold their wickets and build the innings, and now they will be looking to capitalize in the last 6 overs, while the Spirits will be looking to contain as much runs as possible.
And does stay a bit low, and as we were talking about earlier in the day, and I think the wicket is really breaking up now. We can see the uneven bounce in the wicket. It's not going to be a easy task for the Southern Spirits, especially losing the toss on a wicket like Tollgate, to be chasing a big total. So it's really important for them to break this partnership and get one of the batters out.
Yeah, exactly. Tollgate is known to be a bowler's paradise, and it just moves more towards that reputation as the day progresses. I think it was a really good toss to win for Seattle, and they have done great to capitalize on that too. Already 13 runs off the over so far. Aishwarya 31 runs off just 2.3 overs so far. She will be looking to come back in those final 3 deliveries, but I think just the immense quality of Isani and Anika here to capitalize on even those half loose balls to really keep building pressure on Spirits and make as much runs as possible.
I totally agree. I think a lot of the boundaries that were hit weren't very bad balls. It was just very smart batting by the batters here. Able to hit that gap and be really smart with it. We haven't seen much of it towards the back end now, but that use of feet as well towards the spinners was very, very good. Very smart of them, especially catching the flight very early on.
And that has been skied once again, and it's taken by the long off fielder this time, and Isani departs for a well-made 53 off 42 deliveries. And Aishwarya has executed the plan once again, bowling with the wind against the wind for the batters, encouraging them to play that shot. And a really good catch here at long off by the fielder, really breaking this partnership, which was really crucial for the Spirits. And hats off to Aishwarya, the fielding, the fielder, and overall the execution of this plan, and everyone who contributed towards it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And now Swati Singh walking in, a powerful batter from yesterday, being able to clear those boundaries with very ease and very very good timing behind the ball here, and it's really nice to see that she was promoted a slight bit to really take on these last 5 overs and try to maximize that big total that they're really looking towards.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think Seattle will be looking to go full on here. I don't think they would mind losing any more wickets now, considering that there are only about 5 overs to go after this, and they still have 7 wickets left. Of and of those 7 wickets, they're all quality batters. I don't think their main goal here will to be to save wickets, but rather to make as much runs as possible now in these final 5 overs.
ओके ओके मुझे लगा यहाँ कुछ नहीं है उस साइड मेरे को वासिद भाई ने बोला ठीक है मुझे लगा यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं होगा यहाँ पे तो निकल जाओ
हाँ नहीं इसमें सुबह 4 चक्कर लगे हैं ऊपर नीचे इसको कैमरा सेट करने में
ओके 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 सॉरी सॉरी ठीक है थैंक यू
ओके चल ऑलराइट बाय
Swati Singh taking her guard, ready to face her first delivery here. Aishwarya coming in straight after a wicket. And Swati pushes it to covers, just not carrying, and also a misfield from the short covers fielder here, allowing it to complete 1 run. Swati Singh coming off immense confidence here, finishing the game from Seattle yesterday, making a quick 20 to 30 odd runs off just 11 to 12 balls. I think that was a great knock by Swati Singh to finish that game and bring victory home for Seattle.
जय और नैतिक ही है क्या बात कर रहे हो कैमरा में आ रही है क्या मेरी वॉइस मैं दूसरी साइड कैमरे में हूँ कैमरे में
Now we're getting into the back end. We still have a very set batter on strike. It's a mix of experience, and we see that just mingling with people who are in the national setup and people who are coming up. There's a lot of growth to be made.
Yeah, yeah. Just moving into the final stage of the game, just 5 overs to go. Anika is well set now. She will be looking to take on pretty much every ball. As Swati Singh, we know what she can do. She will be looking to do the same from the other end as well. I think this is a crucial stage of the game now, which will be the difference between those 150 odd runs or potentially 170, 165, 175 runs, which will be crucial later on in the game. And just Srilaja coming in for a second over. Half-hearted appeal here, not called a wide either. A good delivery by Srilaja here. Swati Singh not able, attempting to push that to deep square, hopefully get a boundary, but not able to do that this time.
Just checking that again. It looks a bit high there. Half-hearted shout. Great shot. And it's gone. And stopped by the deep square leg fielder there.
Yeah, yeah. Just swept to deep square. Well, Sanvi Madan does well to just contain that to just 1 run here.
Looking back to it too, whenever the ball meets Swati's bat, it goes racing away. Really a lot of power behind the bat there.
And now the well-set batter back on strike. She misses this one.
I think it's really tough as a leg spinner to be able to bowl that flat angle, and Srilaja is bowling really well at that. Really giving that flat angle and getting the turn off as well is really difficult to hit.
Srilaja for a 4th ball, and Anika gets this through the fielders and will go all the way to the boundary. And Anika has set back Swati Ring, denied that double here.
I think the Thunders do want Swati on strike here to try to capitalize and try to get as many runs as possible. I think it might have been a smart ploy by Anika as well, letting Swati take the strike, especially on the spinner as well.
And full toss missed by both of the batter and the keeper here, allowing them to get a wide +1 here. So 2 runs off wides here now.
A good over so far, only 4 runs given with 2 balls remaining. It'd be really good for Srilaja to finish off this over with below like 6 runs. As we talk
And
about that, it does drift down leg again, and they do get another wide here. The batters aren't having to do much work because the runs are just flowing in. We are 130 for 3 and 15.4. You know, with 4 overs remaining and really trying to target that 170 mark, I feel the batting team should be looking towards around 40 runs in these next 4 overs. That's well done. Great use of feet, and it's gone all the way for a maximum there. Well done by Anika Colin to get that past the boundary, and not a small one at that.
yeah, great shot by Anika here. I think a maximum here by Anika over Cal corner, using her feet once again.
You know, a lot of power behind these bats. You know, we see a lot of sixes in these tournaments,
Hello?
and so far they've been very big ones. You know, great use of feet, great timing on the ball as well.
I don't know. एक मिनट मैं विशाल भाई से पूछता हूँ इधर का स्पीकर शायद ऑन रहेगा
Once
once
again,
again-
using her feet, and this will be another boundary straight down the ground. Brilliant use of her feet once again by Anika, moving to 62 off 45, brilliantly catching up on that strike rate and playing a true captain's knock over here. Yeah, I think the the really important point for Southern Spirits here are those wides in every over. As you can see, the first 4 deliveries, just 2 coming off them, and then 2 loose deliveries, allowing the pressure to move back to the Southern Spirits away from Seattle, and then with the quality of players they have, Anika Colin capitalizing on those final 2 deliveries once again and making best use of that 16th over. And Aishwarya Moturi will finish her spell from the other end, bowling her final over, going at just over 10 runs an over right now. We'll be looking to bring that down this over. And just as we speak, another wide in the offside here.
You know, I think it's really funny to see that we talk about last overall. The first 4 balls would really make you think that it's going to be a really good over, but you see just a small change in liner length is getting really capitalized by the batters here, and the way that the favor just tips towards each side every single time in all the overs is really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think the bowling side doesn't have to do much in this type of wicket. All they have to do is just keep their line and length good and really force the batters to work hard to make those runs.
Yeah, going back to that brilliant shot by Swati to hit it through covers there. You know, that's a very well pierced gap, knowing that there wasn't anyone out. Really smacked that with a lot of power behind it.
Yeah. Swati Singh coming off immense confidence and good touch. You can see that today as well. And the pressure is on Aishwarya now. She will be looking to come back from that now. I don't think they need to do much. Just keep it simple. Keep it on the stumps. And another offside wide here. And another run on that too. So 2 wides here now. And Seattle is already approaching that 150 mark with still almost 4 overs to go.
Yeah, I mean, talking about experience too, I think Swati and Aishwarya do practice together. So it's a battle of, I'd say, friendship and, you know, wits in the end of the day, especially knowing how each other bat and bowl.
Yeah.
Great use of feet there, smacked over the bowler's head, and it's gone racing away to the boundary for a 1 bounce 4 there. Brilliant shot, good use of feet by Anika Colin, really taking it through for her team.
Yeah. Run rate just approaching a 9.5 now. As we saw in the middle overs, it was just 7.5. Really coming back from that. Anika Colin taking charge of this attack in the final overs. This has been a brilliantly well-paced innings by her so far, and she will be looking to expand on this still. A full toss delivery will not be able to find the gap, and just 1 run here. Aishwarya just hoping to close this over out without conceding any more boundaries in the final 3 deliveries. And Seattle has approached that 150 mark too.
So, Nitik, as a bowler yourself, especially seeing these 2 batsmen in batters in. Sorry. What would be your plan to be bowled to these two batters?
Yeah, so I would, as I said, I would not try to do much. Keep it simple. I would try to force the batters to take those risks, take those chances, while I just keep, well, just keeping it simple, wicket to wicket. Um, Another brilliant shot here as we speak by Swati Singh. Just swatted to wide of mid wicket for another four, and she's looking in great touch today. Already 10 off 5, and the run rate here being 9.36 already with still 20 deliveries to go. And Seattle would actually be aiming for that 200 mark now.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a great choice by the Thunder's coach over there. Really sending in Swati, trying to give her the maximum amount of time on the crease and really capitalize on these bowlers who are giving loose balls here and there. But going back to that question I asked you, Naitik, what would you do in this situation if you were the bowler trying to get those dot balls and try to make sure that they don't get the momentum that they do have right now?
Yeah, yeah. So Shreyas, as I just said, I would just keep it simple. I would actually force the batters to take the risk while I just keep it simple. Probably have some variations, change up the pace, really keep the batters thinking, but not try to do too much. Just keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what's really been ticking on the scoreboard is that try they're experimenting to try to take those wickets, which is really giving the batters and the entire Seattle Thunder's team great liveliness in their dugout. They're still getting those runs from one source or another. And talking about that one more time, it was an expensive spell for Aishwarya. First over had a lot of hope, but after that, the batters' experience really took it over.
Yeah, final 3 overs coming up now. As we were talking at the start of the innings, we were saying 150, 160 would be a good score. Seems that Seattle would be going well beyond that. Probably close to that 180 mark would be what they would be aiming across. But I think they should be able to do that pretty with ease. I think they would actually be probably aiming to reach that 200 mark.
And I feel gonna come back to that. It's really well placed and it's well done by the long on fielder to stop that. It was racing away to the boundary. Well done, just swat it back, and they do get 2 on that. Talking back to that 170 mark, I think it's really going to determine on Anika's shoulders here as a set batter to, stick it through and really trying to take it all the way to that 170 plus mark. They're only 12 runs shy of that, and with especially 2.5 overs remaining, she hits and it's a big one. And as we speak, the runs just keep piling on up for Anika Colin here. And with that experience, she is absolutely dominating the Southern Spirits bowling attack.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an interesting call to bring in the leg spinner for the 18th over here. I think it would have been a better idea to bring pacer, but at the same time, their front line pacers have bowled out. So I think Southern Spirits being limited on their choices now.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand from a captaining point of view as well, because especially when everyone is getting absolutely sent by the experience of these batters, it's really hard to make a decision on who to bring in and who to bring in when. If we talk back to it, if we look at our scorecard here, we could see the opening bowler Neha did have 3 overs with 17 runs, and I feel in these moments that runs are piling up, I feel that someone needs to come and control it in some way and try to get that wicket to try to stop these flowing runs, because these batters are absolutely going after every single ball that they could.
Yeah, yeah. I think it goes without saying that Neha will be bowling at least one of the remaining 2 overs. And just as you speak, I think Anika has actually lost the ball here, and we're just looking to get that ball back. Brilliant hit from her once again.
Looking at the bowling standpoint as well, we see a lot of high economy rates here. A lot of them crossing 10, 3 of them which crossing 10, and another which is at 9. And we look at Neha and Vaishnavi keeping it very below 7 economy rate, especially with the batters going at it like how they are, with Vaishnavi finishing off at a 6.75 economy rate and Neha with 1 over remaining at a 5.67 economy rate. Just a bit of a break here, and the ball does roll back into the ground. It's gone and it's dropped once again. These chances need to be taken. These chances need to be taken here. I mean, talking about that again, that is the big fish, Anika Colin there, getting dropped at the mid-wicket boundary. And that is the 3rd drop of the day.
Yeah, I feel they're doing well to come under the ball, but just again the finishing, just not able to close that catch and pick up that wicket. And a loud appeal.
And it is not given. May have just been pitching a bit outside leg there.
Think good ball by Disha here though.
Just checking the replay. Line does seem to be
Yeah,
just
pitching outside
there.
leg, yeah.
Going down leg as well after the impact.
Swati Singh stepping out.
And it could be taken by Aishwarya. And it is dropped once again. The luck is not on the side of the Southern Spirits here with a lot of drop catches in the ground today. We're going to the back end now. As we were talking about it, Neha is bringing herself on to bowl here, as the vice captain. It was a good option to bring her back in, especially with the batters being on top of the bowling side right now. Cricket's a game of a bit of luck as well, but luck is really riding towards the Seattle Thunder's dugout right now.
Yeah, good decision to bring on Neha for the 19th over instead of the last over. I think the runs are really starting to pile up, and they need a bit of cleaning up to do, which I think Neha with her experience can do the best. Really bring things a little bit under control before finishing up.
And I think as someone who is coming up in the Seattle setup and be able to play on these tournaments that we played on Tollgate and, around the country as well, how do you think that the wicket is playing right now from the past times that, we've practiced on it or have played?
Yeah, I think it's definitely better than what it's been before. I think the groundsmen have done a great work to really make the wiki a lot better. And Neha has just overstepped here. No ball and free hit called by the umpire, with Anika on strike looking to capitalize on this free hit.
Yeah, I mean, so far we have a wide and a no ball, so not a legal ball delivered yet. I'm sure Neha is really a bit frustrated right now, especially in the moment that she's come in.
Oh, a little far down leg delivery by Neha here.
Seeing the batter step out there, I think she dragged her length a bit wide, trying to maybe york her out there. You know, not going very well for Neha right now. I think it might have been a commentator's curse or something, you know, talking about it.
Yeah, and just as you speak, Seattle has hit that 170 mark as well. I think it wouldn't be absurd to say that they would be going after 200 here with still 2 overs to go and just needing 30 runs for that 200 mark. A lot better delivery from Neha here.
Yeah, I think if we're talking, oh, that could be a wicket. It's not given, looks like. Hopefully we can get a replay on that. Just to see after. She is outside the crease.
Good
But
thinking by the keeper here.
that
And
is a hit, and she is out. But it is a free, so she needed to have the ball touch the ground and pick back up for it to be counted as a run out there. So a bit of luck again in the Seattle Thunder's dugout there.
well, brilliant ball by Neha once again.
Well done, good comeback there. Really hitting that hard length. Yeah, it's good to see that she is coming back from it. You know, not an ideal start for her overs, but you know, dragging back the length and really getting tighter on that line.
Yeah.
Third ball of the over. It's a brilliant shot.
Brilliant
It's going
shot
to
by Anika
race
here.
away to the boundary for another boundary there. Great shot by Anika Colin, really hitting that 80 mark, and I think, not to knock on wood, I think that 100 is also in play here.
Yeah, for sure. I think before that 100, they would be aiming for that team total hitting 200. But I think in part of that process, I think the 100 is very well on the cards here today.
You know, that would be a first 100 in the entire tournament, the first 100 ever in the Seattle Women's Open. You know, it'd be a great moment.
I think first 100 on this ground too in a long time.
I think it might be ever.
Another boundary here by Anika. Moving on to 84 now, just 16 runs shy of her potential 100 here.
You know, going back to that factor of being a long time, do believe this, knock on wood, could be the only 100 ever hit on this ground.
Yeah, not a bad delivery from Neha at all here, but just the pure excellence and experience of Anika to use her feet, come down the wicket, and just flick that for 4 runs wide of mid wicket.
Yeah, a lot of smartness involved in her batting as well. You know, really hitting those gaps and being smart with her placement.
Yeah, good ball from Neha here.
Expensive over for Neha. You know, I think again it might be that commentator for going back to it. As we just talked about, her coming back on, especially with her being the lowest economy rate of the entire bowling lineup, she has given about 12, 13 runs so far, and still a ball remaining here. Oh, and it is a switch hit tried. Very brave from Swati Singh.
I think that was a good decision by Anika to run that single on the second last ball, get back strike for the last over, as well as give Swati pretty much a free hit on this last delivery to do whatever she wants. Fortunately, she isn't able to execute that switch hit, but a good attempt nevertheless.
Yeah, I think it's great to see that they're backing themselves in these last moments. And the Seattle Thunders are on 179. That is higher than we did predict here.
And now final over coming up, 21 for that 200, 15 for Anika to get that 100. And yeah.
Yep, final over here of the first innings, and they do bring Disha back on to bowl the final over here. Just a bit of an expensive over this last over, and they're sure the batters are looking to capitalize on that.
And that is 4 runs by Anika here, just 11 shy of her 100 now. Really approaching that 100. I think she will be using her feet throughout this over, which is the right option to do. Brilliant knock so far from Anika.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think a top-class captain's knock here. Really carrying the innings through, especially with those two early wickets. If we're talking about it again.
Yep, using her feet once again, looking to get 2 runs here. And unfortunately, she will not be able to do that. Still 10 runs remaining for 100 with 4 deliveries to go. I actually don't think that Anika's goal here is to get that 100. True selflessness by the captain here. I think she will be giving Swati the license to go for everything here now. Yep, and that is too long
Long
gone
and is
and safely
taken.
taken.
Again, we talk about these catches that have been pretty rare in these games today. It's well done by the long on fielder there to really take that one with comfortable ease.
Yeah, yeah. Swati Singh just hitting a just even despite the support of the wind here, just not able to get enough distance on that hit, and a good catch here by the long on fielder. And Giovanna Aras coming into bat. She has also represented the national side, and just she is another great player. 3 balls to go, and I think she will also be getting the license from Anika to go after everything.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think a leg spinner bowling into a lefty, especially a batter like Giovanna, is someone who really wants to target and really send that ball out of the ground. I think, in these last 3 balls, I hope that something happens for either the Spirits or the Seattle Thunders here.
Yeah, yeah.
A shout is there, and the strike remains with Giovanna Aras.
And that is the end to Anika's 100, unfortunately, but I'm sure she won't mind too much. Brilliant knock, nevertheless. I think final 2 deliveries here for Seattle to make the best out of them.
I think Giovanna is looking to get a big one here, and the field is moved slightly towards the mid-wicket region.
I think we can. Oh,
It's well done by Disha to really keep it tight with that 2 dots and having a last ball remaining. That 190 mark really could not be crossed today, especially since it seems to be turning a little bit.
just Giovanna will be looking to get a big here final delivery, and it's through the gap, racing away to the boundary, and that will go all the way.
It just crept over the boundary, and that does bring the end to the first innings here. Seattle Thunders making 188 in their 20 overs. A blistering knock by Anika Colin and Isani Vagela to really take the Seattle Thunders through.
And Anika finishes off with an unbeaten 90, and I think we can blame Shreyas for the commentator's curse for that 100 not being reached today.
That was a good one, I think. I appreciate that. We'll see you guys very soon to see the run chase and see how the Southern Spirits attack this humongous total.
innings soon too. We'll be starting pretty soon.
No, just checking back on this match summary here. Back
Batters coming in now, and Seattle is having their team huddle. And for Southern Spirits, their opening batters will be the same as yesterday.
All right, we're just about to begin the run chase here. 189 mammoth total needed from 120 deliveries here. The Southern Spirits do have some work cut out for them with an experienced Seattle Thunder's bowling attack, but nevertheless can be chased down.
Yeah. The wicket definitely looks to be a little better than everyone else thought. It will still be a difficult task, but I think Southern Spirits still have a great batting lineup and a lot of experience in their batting lineup as well, and they will be looking to chase this down.
You know, something I did notice in the second game yesterday was in between innings there wasn't a roll that happened, which led the Seattle Thunders to have a bit of a difficult time chasing their total with that turn and bounce that was happening with those cracks. Looking to today's game, they did get a roll in, so hopefully the conditions are the same as it was in the morning for the Seattle Thunders.
Just make sure the mic is right next. Just 10 minutes or so away from
And the same opening bowler from yesterday is going to come back on, Ira Mohindru, who did get an early wicket from yesterday's game. Another talk about young talent coming up and rubbing shoulders with experience is Ira Mohindu, someone who is coming up through the Seattle setup right now as we speak.
And a bit of information about Ira Mahindra. She was actually the only girl in all of Seattle to be selected in the boys U13 squad, which is a really good achievement for Ira. She is a really promising cricketer. She has also been sponsored already, and she is an upcoming talent to watch out for.
On screen, Giovanna Aris, a lot of experience behind that jersey, with a lot of international experience and a lot of international tournament exposure. And we're just about to get started with the first ball of the second innings. Let's see how the Southern Spirit target this mammoth total.
Ira coming in for her first delivery here. Shorter delivery, poke, just tap two extra covers, and a fumble will allow them to complete one run.
Good first ball there, just dragged a bit short by Ira there. Hit to covers with a bit of a misfield. The batters do sneak in a single there. A quick field adjustment. It's always difficult to be bowling to a lefty and righty pair, especially in the opening overs when you're not fully warmed up yet. Quick adjustments being made by the captain and looking to go into the second ball of the first over here. Once again, dragged a bit short by Ira Mohindu, really looking for that batsman to play the cut. The batter really trying to poke at that, especially with the deep third. Does give a single option. Once again, dragged a tiny bit short by Ira. It is a difficult leg to play. It doesn't seem to be bouncing too well for the batter. Really catching them off guard, and it looks like to be moving also in the air. The wind factor is really coming into play here. Just looking at the replay, a lot of in-swing on that. Batter does just get it off.
A little bit of seam off the pitch too. I think this is Ira's bowling great here. This is a brilliant first over so far. Shorter delivery once again, and the bat.
She's really trying to force the batter to cut the ball. I don't know if it's a ploy for the edge to go to the keeper or if it's just a misjudgment in their line and length.
And the things about chasing such large totals is that a couple of dots here and there can and will encourage those risky big shots. Meanwhile, while batting first, you don't have that pressure, and that is a
dropped at mid-on by Shilan, and they do manage just to take a single there.
yeah. Just as I was saying, like few dots in while chasing such big totals does provoke these risky big shots, and
Just checking that out again. She had it, just went a bit of a reverse cup on that. Again, going back to that topic about fielding is going to win games and lose games here for both sides. I think it's really important that the Seattle Thunders really hold on to their catches if they do want to win this game here.
yeah, I think fielding is always one of the biggest, most important factors in a game of cricket.
That does stay low there. It's a much better leg from Ira Mohindu there.
Yeah. Lashini just stuck on the crease on that one a little bit uneven bounce.
just a bit of discussions happening between two batters, and Giovanna Aris comes in for the second over today. Yesterday we did see a lot of movement off the first couple overs from her and Ira, a good tangent pair that was pulling to their good lines. I think, what do you think of Giovanna's bowling? I think with that height, she really hits the deck very well.
Yeah, I think obviously Giovanna is a bowler of immense quality, and the wicket will support her too. She will definitely get some seam, some bounce, and also that odd uneven bounce here and there too, which will definitely help her. She just needs to stick to her line and length, which she is really good at doing anyways.
All right, first ball of the second over to be bowled here by Giovanna.
Oh, extra bounce straight away, as expected by Giovanna with that height, and the batter runs it down to third man for just 1 run.
So Naitik Das is. So Naitik, you have a lot of experience bowling on these wickets to these sort of to a lot of different sorts of batsmen. Playing in Jamaica and really being a man of the match all the way. Sorry,
Yeah.
just a bit of cut out there. And I think you got player of the match in the Jamaica tournament. How would you, strategize, be bowling, and with such a big total, what would you be your idea to take on this?
Yeah, I think I would just keep it simple. And actually, right back to you. I think in Jamaica you played a match-winning knock of 35, 40 odd runs, which really helped us to secure that victory. How would you go about this chase if this was you?
You know, Thanks, Naitik. I think I think it's really important for someone to be there as a top order batsman. As we saw in the Seattle Thunder's innings, it was really well done by Anika Cole and Andy Sani Vigela to really take the game very deep. Gives a lot more releases a lot of pressure for the remaining batters when there is a top order batsman and the top order batsmen take it through to later in the innings. So I think the game is really going to be determined on first how they use the power play and second how many wickets they've lost by the 10th over.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. We can already see Giovanna generating some extra bounce here straight away, and she will be someone difficult to get through for the Southern Spirit batters here. Another extra bounce delivery here by Giovanna. Okay,
A good over so far by Giovanna. There is some bounce on offer, a quick pull shot offered there by the batter. Just a bit of extra bounce.
and lovely carry all the way through the keeper.
I think it's really important that the Southern Spirits use their power play very well, especially with the big total on the board.
This is tossed up by Giovanna and just tapped to short covers. So Hosmer and Hashini both taking their time here to get settled, and we know how important these two will be in this chase. And it is really important for them to stay in, take their time, and then go for it once they are settled.
If we talk about it too, the Seattle Thunders on paper are a very stacked lineup with a lot of international experience and a very good local experience as well, up and coming talent. I think it's really important that the Southern Spirits back themselves here to really take the bowlers on and go after it.
More extra bounce by Giovanna here, and yeah, I agree with you.
Unfortunately, in these high total games, every dot ball counts for the batting side. You see that's a lot of movement, a lot of kick up off the wicket. Just, the wicket's breaking up a bit. So, and I think we do have another game today with the Houston Hurricanes and the Rising Stars, of which the Houston Hurricanes dominated the Southern Spirits yesterday, and the Rising Stars had a very close game with the Seattle Thunders. What do you think of that matchup, and how do you feel that game is going to play out?
I think that game will definitely be a Really good matchup, I think. Both teams being of immense quality, players of national experience, upcoming talent, uh, international exposure, a lot of things. Both teams being really good too. Um, Houston Hurricanes having a dominating win yesterday, while Rising Stars still playing well, just not able to finish off the game. So I think that will be a really good battle coming up.
So Ira Mohinder is back into the attack, and she is someone that moves the ball very well, and that too in to the righties, which is away for the lefty, which is a difficult thing to play. Nika Cullen does seem to be getting her helmet and going up to keep, again, which is another very, very good skill to have.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Being a wicket keeper yourself, what do you make of this move by Anika Colin?
You know, I think in moments that the ball's moving a lot and the batters are trying to stop that swing, it's really difficult for a batter to be inside the crease, giving that time for that ball to move in the air. It's a good ploy. It's difficult to be keeping up there, especially with the ball moving.
Another great delivery by Ira Mohinder over here. Fuller. Rashini goes after it, but is not able to find any bat on that.
Just checking the replay there, a lot of movement. Well done by Anika to get that off that Yorker length. Not a difficult take.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of swing in the air, along with a lot of movement off the pitch too. I think Ira and Giovanna are both a lethal bowling duo, and they will be really important. Um, just an outside edge for one run down a deep third.
Yeah, good bowling so far by the opening duo of the Seattle Thunders. Only 2.3 overs in, but so far, not trying to say anything, but it is tipping towards the Seattle Thunder's favor with that required run rate climbing slowly and slowly with each dot ball.
Yeah, just 5 runs so far.
That
And
is a hit through mid-wicket, leaving that gap open. It seems to be racing away, but just stops before the boundary, picked up by the fielder and sent into the keeper's end. A quick two taken by the Spirits, and 2 balls left to finish up the third over of the game.
Ara is actually bowling brilliantly here, forcing the batters to take chances himself and not giving any loose balls. Just 4 runs coming off for 10 deliveries so far.
Yeah, I think the way the Spirits get in the game now is really going for those boundaries here. Great effort by Ira, putting her hand at that. Good stop again by the mid-on fielder. Um, you know, it's really important for the Southern Spirits here to really try and take on the boys as much as they can. They need those early boundaries to get on track towards that target. These power plays are going to be really important for them. I think a game in T20 is lost and made in the power play. And I think, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a really good point. That's exactly right.
It's a good hit. It gets height on it, but does it have the distance? Yes, it does. It goes for a one bounce four there. And it's a brilliant shot. Just as we started talking about them needing to take on the bowlers, the batters brilliantly started their flow.
I think nothing wrong with the delivery here, though. Ira is doing a really good job. She shouldn't mind that shot at all. She's forcing the batters to go across the line, play against um, against the natural flow of batting, and really take those chances.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think if I'm a bowler and I'm looking at the fact that I just bowled about 5 dot balls in a row to her, and she goes after that shot, I think it really shows that there is pressure on the batting side right now, and the batters need to be putting pressure. Giovanna is coming back for a second over here, only giving 1 run in her first. Let's see what the Southern Spirit openers can do. Well done. It's hit to mid-wicket and just out of reach of short mid. They do manage to get just one there.
So Spirits are really starting to take their chances now. They're starting to play across the line, go after the good balls.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the game's gonna be made now if they're able to capitalize on this power play. The Spirits are 100% in the game. Getting those early boundaries are gonna really help them in the long run. And especially hitting it against an experienced bowler like Giovanna is really gonna help them morale in the dugout as well.
And a wide delivery called again by the umpire. Giovanna just missing her line here by a little bit. And Sahasra will feel a little disappointed to not get any bat on that.
Talking about that as well, if we do look back there, this field doesn't have anyone in front of the wicket. The only fielders out are a deep third and a deep fine. So I think the plan for Giovanna is to hit more of those hard links and trying to get them to edge it back and just take those chances that do come. And as we talk about it, she does give a fuller delivery, not capitalized by the Southern Spirit batter.
Yeah, so the required run rate climbing above 10 and a half and over now, and the pressure is really building on the Southern Spirits now.
Third ball of the over here. It's well done. Still some movement off the wicket and in the air for Giovanna Ares. The Southern Spirit batters are struggling very slightly against this movement. We talked about the toss being a really important role. Looking back at this replay, it was very close to a wide line, very close. Still seeing the movement in the air. The wind's really a really defining factor here with that movement as well, especially because it is blowing against Giovanna, which gives more time for the ball seam to move in the air. Once again, great shot, really letting those hands free, and it's going for a two bounce for correction. And that is a great shot by Sahasra against an experienced Giovanna who is hitting those hard lengths. We were just talking about it. Great positioning there, really picking it off the length. It's not an easy shot to play, especially on a tall bowler like Giovanna. Again, these shots need to be coming out now to use that power play to the best of their ability. I think it's great that they are changing their switch. They got their time to see the ball and see the bounce, and now they really are going after the bowler. Good choice by the batsman here, and good choice by the captain, putting someone towards the mid-wicket and taking out that deep fine leg. Lots of smiles for the bowler here. Last ball of the over. That's a brilliant shot, absolutely sent for a maximum. They're racing away past the fence into the Cows territory. The first over just went for 1 run, and this over was big for the Southern Spirits for a massive 12 runs in that over. The Southern Spirits are coming back into the game. Brilliant shot by Sahasra to get that shot off her hips and over the boundary for a maximum.
Yeah, I think we saw something similar in the first innings too, where both batters took a little bit of time to get settled in, and then after that they started to get going. I think similar thing this innings as well.
I totally agree, but if we talk about difference in roles too, difference with the Seattle Thunders and the Southern Spirits is the openers are playing very well right now, taking their time to see the wicket because they saw the Seattle Thunders openers crumble in the first innings. It's very smart and very mature of the Spirits openers to take their time and really see the bounce and the nature of the wicket.
Yeah, yeah. And in such big um, run chases, the most important factor is how can you keep those, how can you hold those wickets of those top order
Yep.
batters who have
Yep.
the ability to go for any ball once they're settled in.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be a really important factor again when we're talking about at the start, those wickets at the 10 over mark, how many wickets they have left. It really just shows like how free they could go after that point. Well done by the batter so far. It's slowly creeping back up in that run rate. The required run rate does go to 10.38, and they're currently at 5.75. So there is some work still yet to be done by the Spirits batters. And coming on now is, I am not
I
sure.
think this looks like JV, but I might be wrong
I
here.
think that is Rucha.
Yeah, so new bowler into the attack. Rocha will be bowling. Out then.
And that is a wicket taken.
Who went out?
Sorry about that, just a bit of interference there. That is a wicket for Rucha, the impact player, to short mid wicket, and that does take Hashni out of the game. And that is the first wicket for the Seattle Thunders there. Just a quick team huddle here and a bit of scoring issues going on in the ground right now.
Yeah, just a dot and a wicket second ball here in this over so far. The bit of scoring issues here, it will be updated soon.
Well done, crack there. It's a good feeling effort, does get a hand on it.
And
Only get a one there. The Spirits batters.
yeah, they're thinking about two there for a second, but well done by the fielder to cut them off to one.
Something that replay, good effort, good dive. A hand like that does stop a boundary, taking the momentum away from the ball. Great shot over mid wicket there, racing away to the boundary for four.
Yeah.
Great experience shot by Sahasra. And we are back from that little scoring issue. We just saw a wicket chance get dropped.
Replica is in from the other end, from Giovanna RS's end.
Only 2 overs today for Giovanna, being taken off a bit early. Bringing a new off-spin option here. That is hit to deep mid-wicket for a single there. Second ball of the last over of the power play here. 159 runs needed, 89 balls on the Spirit. Sasha's playing a very good knock here, and I think we talked about that one top order batter needs to be sticking through and really taking the game deep for the Southern Spirits for them to have a great chance at winning this game.
Yeah, I think she's pretty well settled in. She's played her 20-odd balls, and now she's really starting to get going.
I think it's a good option that they brought an off spinner on, especially when a lefty comes onto the crease. It's very difficult for someone, especially as an off spinner against a lefty, really trying to play on a toll gate wicket with a lot of turn and bounce.
And that is a wide ball called by the umpire.
Hit through covers, and they're going to sneak a single in. And
Hesitant
it is
single.
thrown. A sweep there, just chipping it over short mid wicket to the mid wicket. Again, good confidence by Sahasra to try to take on the bowlers here. She knows that she needs to pick up the pace for their run rate to really get to that 10 required run rate mark.
Yeah, Ritvika's actually bowling pretty good right now too, forcing the batters to play across the line, take those chances.
It's well done. Stays a bit low on the batter. Again, it is very difficult for a lefty to face an off spinner, especially early in their innings. This one did keep a bit low, not much turn on offer. Slided up and step and right to covers and taken.
And Nikita completes a simple catch, and that is the second wicket down for Southern Spirits.
So far we have talked about these catches being taken. There was a drop catch, but so far they are 2 catches taken and 1 drop, so they are ahead of the Southern Spirits in that moment. Again, we talked about the fielding is going to be the aspect that wins games here, and so far the Seattle Thunders are on top in regards of fielding. Well done by Ritvika to really wrap that over, only giving 5 runs in that over, especially as an off spinner in the power play. That is 34 for 2 in 6 overs, and that is power play completed for the Southern Spirits. Just drop there to short point there. And that is over up for Ritvika. Well done to keep that runs to a minimum.
Cut you off.
Richa is back to bowl her second over after a brilliant first over by her, taking one of the openers out. That is a sweep attempt, and it is a shout, but not given by the umpire there. Sahasra is trying her hardest to make the use of the ground and the pace of the ball to try to get those boundaries, which are very needed for the Spirits. So you can see it's just drifting down leg.
So
Good shot attempt on offer. You know, she realized there wasn't anyone behind square there and really attempted to get it in that gap and get a boundary off of it as well.
and required run rate climbing over 11 and over now. Actually, outcome.
That is flicked to short mid wicket and stop there.
Yeah, that was a really good delivery by Richa, just really in the block hole of the batter.
So Naitik, in your experience as a batsman, what would you do in this moment where the run rate is climbing up and there's wickets fallen?
I think a better person to ask this question to is yourself, being so experienced yourself, being a minor league player. I think you need to give that answer.
It's a great shot by Sahasra, really targeting that gap, and it just goes for a single there. You know, if we are taking it back to me, and I think I feel that again this game is going to go to the end, and it's really important on how they take those quick singles. You know, I'm sure you also would say the same thing with your experience as well. But I think the single game is going to be very important to the Southern Spirits to determine if they are going to make that run chase or not. Well
Great
capped
ball
there.
here. Yeah, good over so far by Richa. Two balls left to go. We're seeing a replay of that.
Bit of outward movement there. So Naitik, as a kid growing up in Seattle, you know, how have you enjoyed seeing the cricket grow, you know, as with time has passed? Because you have grown up in the academy system. Uh, are you seeing a lot of growth from the time that you started to now, or do you feel like it's progressing very slowly?
I think there has been a lot of rapid growth over the past few years, um, especially creating such big players like you yourself from the grassroots. It's been
Sorry, just a bit of cutout there. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of rapid progression happening, especially since that World Cup performance by the men's team. You know, uh, and you know our USA women's team, and that is taken as we speak. That is hit, and the set batsman, sorry, the new batsman Disha does give a catch, two covers there.
the new batter. Disha does give a catch to covers there.
You are correct. That is my fault. Just checking that replay there.
Seems to
Well,
be a
seems to
little
rush
bit of
her
extra
a
bounce.
bit. The batter does get caught out a bit, and a well-taken catch at covers there. Never easy to take any catch in any game, especially with the nerves riding on. Once again, a lot of cheers going on in the Seattle Thunder's huddle. A lot of motivation going on. So far, the game is tipping towards the Seattle Thunder side, and we do need a proper partnership and a proper innings for the Spirits to take this game back into their hands.
Yeah, with the run rate approaching, with the required run rate approaching almost 12 and over now, I think um, it's now or never for the Spirits. They need to have a good, quick partnership uh, forming here.
You know, just checking the score too as well. If we're talking about the Seattle Thunders in their power play and the Spirits at this point in the game, Spirits are lacking behind in their run chase, being 36 for 3 in 7 overs. Just a bit of adjustments on the field. Again, with coming back on with a brilliant first over, throwing 5 for 1 in her first over. She bowled her first ball dot, and the run rate is climbing. 153 from 77 balls needed for the Southern Spirits, with 3 wickets down already. It's well bowled there, really tempting the batter to come and step out and try to hit the ball through the line. You know, I think they do need to take these chances. And I think, what do you feel?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, especially with the run rate climbing. Um,
I think the one thing that the Thunder's batters did really well was, especially once they see that flight, they were out, and they're backing themselves to get to that pitch of the ball and really send it over the boundary.
yeah,
As we
and
talk about, that is going for a catch, and it is taken by Shilan at mid-off. That is 4 wickets down for the Spirits, and the Spirits are not very high right now.
So I think what the Spirits are lacking right now is someone to play the role of Isani, really come in from the first ball, go after it, take the pressure off the non-striker, um, really let a partnership.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Nighting. I think it is putting them in a difficult situation when a batsman is just coming and going, you know, especially now that the set batsman Sahasra just gave a catch to the mid-off fielder Shilan. You know, I think it's really going to take a bit of a miracle here now for them to pull back this game, especially from the position that they are in. They are almost 8 overs in with only 36 runs, haven't even reached that 50 mark yet. But cricket is a funny game, and we can never know until the last ball is bowled here.
Yeah. We need to make sure to not write off any team here because it's not over until the last ball has been delivered. Still, a doable run chase for them. Still 6 wickets remaining. Run rate around 12 and over. Brilliant ball here by Ritvika. First up to Neha.
Fight it up a bit.
Oh,
A lot of turn there.
a lot of turn on offer over there. Oh,
that
what a
is a
ball by
brilliant ball.
Ritvika.
Great turn on offer, beating the outside edge of the batter, and Neha departs for a duck. 37 for 5 in 7.5 overs, and the Spirits are not looking very good right now.
In the blink of an eye, Ritvika already has 3 wickets here. She's bowling brilliantly, and as we're talking about this in the morning as well, we are seeing cracks starting to form and spinners getting a little more help off the wicket.
Just checking that replay again, just beating the outside edge there. She was playing for a bit of spin on it, but kind of goes straight through the line, just beats her. The vice captain departs, and the struggles keep climbing for the Southern Spirits. Haranya is the new batter to bat. She's coming to face the already ready Ritvika with her last ball of the over.
More
Well,
turn on offer here for Ritvika. She is bowling brilliantly, and it looks like the second upcoming game will be will have a lot to offer for the spinners.
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if we check those figures, 2 overs, 6 runs, and 3 wickets for Ritvika as an off spinner and bowling in the power play is brilliant bowling.
Yeah.
Wickets. Not looking very good for the Spirits right now. Very difficult position, and to say the least, I do think the Seattle Thunders are going to be on top of this game today.
Yeah.
With this game as well, I do believe the Seattle Thunders will qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, with the required run rate approaching 13 now, it's really difficult to get going at such a high rate, especially on this wicket. And another terrific delivery by Richa here to Aradia.
Again, I'm sure the batting hasn't been great for the Spirits so far, but they did very well in their bowling. The bowlers created great chances for the fielders to take it, but again, that support from the fielders really needs to be backed. There's a lot of experience on that bowling side, but hitting those good lines and lengths, it's great. Southern Spirits are a great team. Small moments like that really make victories.
A lot of extra bounce here from Richa.
And unfortunately, tosses do come into play in these sort of games. And Seattle Thunder's taking that batting first really helped them on setting that big total that the Spirits are chasing right now.
Yeah. Despite being in not the best situation right now, I think Spirits have a lot of positives to take away from this game. Their bowlers were bowling to their plans, generating chances. But at the end of the day, one team's going to be on top, but one is not, and that's part of the game.
It's a full toss and just, I think, clipped down leg. They're going to sneak away for a double. They do get a double, and good piece of running by the Spirits batters there. That is with 3 balls remaining in Richa's 3rd over and the 9th over of the game, the Spirits are 41 for 5.
slower delivery by which I hear change of pace.
So I think I don't know if you see, but I feel like the Spirits' morale is pretty down right now. There's not much interest in looking for those quick singles and these fumbles. Something that the Thunders did do very well. As soon as they see a fumble, they were very adamant on running those quick singles and trying to get off strike.
Yeah, yeah.
It's well done. So I think I'm glad to have you in the commentary box today. We missed your voice yesterday, but we will be here for the second game of the day also.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are your thoughts so far? I mean, you've seen the quality. I'm sure you have some thoughts on it.
I mean, it's great to see them play. A lot of quality players, a lot of young talent. All the teams look pretty good. Um, it's good to see such a professional setup too, and also grateful to have the opportunity to be commentating in such a professional tournament alongside you, of course.
I appreciate that, and I think, and again, I just want to shout out also the NACC Management Committee, to putting together this tournament with amazing live production and amazing quality of the games.
Yeah, yeah. And another half-hearted appeal from the fielding side here. That's another good delivery by Ritika. This is flighted up by Ritika. Another good delivery, but it gets past the keeper. I think we're seeing a lot of turn on off right here now compared to the first innings, and it just goes to show the how big of a role the toss plays in games as such.
And I think you were talking about it earlier about this analysis, and I really think you were right.
Yeah.
I was wrong at that moment, and your knowledge towards the game is very good because you got it on track. You started talking about turn and bounce, and it is turning and bouncing.
I mean, I've learned from the best, sitting alongside Shresh Chitnani has really helped me gain that experience. He's
I
really,
appreciate that, Nightic. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, you're
Going back
welcome.
to Rift because she's playing brilliantly so far.
Another good delivery by Ritika here, just pushed to mid-wicket by the batter here.
Unfortunately, seeing the dugout of the Spirits, it's a lot of spread out and very quiet. Not much emotion in there. Always going to be disappointed when you're a bit down in the game.
Yeah, yeah. As you guys just saw, you can see what's going on with the pitch now. A lot of uneven bounce, a lot of turn, and yeah, once again goes on to show how big of a role the toss plays. But no credit taken away from Ritika. She's bowling great here.
That's hit the covers. Well done by the covers for the stop that, the ground's uneven. Never easy to get those ones off the ground. Let's flight it up and turn on offer. Ritvika is spinning a web around the Spirits batsman right now. And that is the 10th over and going to be a quick break in the innings. And we are back from our short break here, going back to our run chase. The required is 146 from the next 10 overs, needing 14.6 required run rate for the Spirits. With 5 wickets down, it's not looking very high hopes for them.
And they have introduced a new bowler to the attack, Sahasra.
To make it halfway there. 146 runs needed from 60 balls, and it does look to be out of reach for the Southern Spirits.
Yeah, their required run rate is almost at 15 and over now.
Well
Great
done.
ball by Sahasra.
Beautiful day for cricket here in the Pacific Northwest. I would say one of the most beautiful grounds in the U.S. What do you say, Nitik?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an honor for the girls to have you present at the ground as well. Minor league. An outside edge, another great ball by Sahasra here.
Yeah. Looks like the same thing that the girls are having on the ground. We're having a great time here in the commentary booth as well, you know. Cracking a bit of jokes here and there.
Another great ball by Sahasra.
It's a great day for cricket. It's a great day to watch cricket as well. Third ball though over here with a lot of loop on that, and it's hit over the point gap, and it's racing away to the boundary for a 4. Great shot there.
Yeah, a little bit of a loosener by Sahasra here. She will be looking to pull her length back a little bit.
A little bit of life back in the spirit dugout, you know, with that boundary back into play. I think it's really just about thinking and moving on from this moment, because there is more games to go for them.
Yeah. Little bit of life back in their spirits after that boundary.
That was a good one, Nitik.
Yeah.
Very witty of you.
Yeah, just seeing the replay of that, a little bit of a loose delivery, but the batter has done well to capitalize on that and get that way for a boundary.
Trying to make a bit of room there, try to get that point gap. Batter does well, but not hit with enough power to pierce it. And it is the last ball of the 11th over for Sahasra. Only 5 runs given so far. Let's see how she finishes it over. A loopy delivery, hit through covers there. Well done by the extra covers fielder. And that does end up as a dot, and that is over for Sahasra, giving only 5 runs as the run rate climbs. Good turn on that. You know, we saw Chaitanya yesterday have a brilliant spell. You know, coming back strong with her first ball, really getting that turn off the wicket as well.
It's a little ball of energy.
That's correct, Nitik. I think they are getting some energy back into this game with that quick double there, piercing that backward point cap. Um, well done by her, Naya. A lot of flight there on offer. It just yorks herself out. Still managed to sneak a single. Good running by the batter. Well hit to the deep mid-wicket gap, and it's very well done. Great shot. Not easy hitting Chaitanya for a sweep shot, especially with the turn that she has to offer. Well done by the batter. And that's over up, and it's one of the more expensive overs actually we've seen from Chaitanya. 7 runs. I know it's not a lot, but Chaitanya has been bowling very well since yesterday. Hits a long run with the use of feet. This also gives another flighted delivery there. The Spirits batter look to just rotate the strike and look to play through the innings right now. So the run rate keeps climbing, but looks like they're just enjoying their time on the wicket. It's another flighted delivery and sent over covers for a maximum. Great use of capitalization from the batters. And it's another one. 2 back to back. So far, a very one-sided game for the first game of the day. We do have the Houston Hurricanes and the Rising Stars here, getting ready to show off in the second game of the day. Another no ball to be bowled here. Another flight delivery, and it is sent. Over covers, too long off, and gone for a maximum. That is another 6 back-to-back, capitalizing on both no balls there. And we are seeing some high hopes in the dugout of the Spirits. A lot of positives to take. Our fly delivery just worked too long on, just taking a single. Well done by Aradhya. Smart, very smart batting. Just fell short of the short mid-wicket fielder there. Batters only get to 1 there. And there is 2 balls still left in Sahasrar's over.
I'm going deep mid. I beg, I don't want to deal with the commentators anymore.
And that is over up. The Southern Spirits are 74 for 5 in 13.
Quick single here by Heranya. A great bit of work here by the short covers fielder. More turn on offer here for Chetna. I think this turn will carry forward to the next game, and I think it will be a spinner's game throughout both innings. An attempted sweep here, and a little bit of extra uneven bounce allows the ball to go right over the bat, and another miss by Aradhya here. So 3 dots piled up now and a little bit of pressure on her. It's a great delivery by Chetna. Aradia comes down the track trying to cover the spin, but cleverly tossed back by Chetna, and the extra bit of turn off the wicket um, turns that right onto the wicket, and Aradia is bowled for 22 runs. Yeah, just seeing the replay here, she comes down the track and the length is pulled back and it goes straight through the gate, and that little bit of extra turn. Great delivery by Chetna. Yeah, you can see the pressure by those 3 dots created forced the batsman to take some sort of risk. Oh, more turn on offer here for Chitna. Great bowling here. Send of another great over, just one coming off it, another wicket. And now the run rate. And now the run rate. And now the run rate is almost at 20 and over. Required run rate.
You got it, girl. Come on, Thunder. Come on.
And Reddy comes into the attack for her first over of today. She will be looking to wrap up the innings as soon as possible. Quick single here and they complete the run safely. Great bit of work here by the fielder. A direct hit would have been out here. Another quick single here. Yeah, and the run rate is approaching 20 runs and over now. I reckon it would be smarter for the Southern Spirits batters to try to gain as much experience batting on this wicket and then they can carry that forward for their game tomorrow, which will help them. Brilliant ball and a brilliant bit of keeping from Manika as well. The breeze getting just a little stronger as we talk. A lot of movement off the pitch. And a great bit of work here at short covers. great over so far by Dreddy, and the dot balls are piling up once again. A little bit extra bounce off the wicket on that ball, and it is another quick single.
That is a wicket well taken by Anika Colin to get that. A down leg delivery with the quick hands to get that stumping. Chetna picks up another wicket here, and the spirits are slowly falling. Seeing that replay there, he got a good turn on it. Through bat pad gap. That was a really good take and one hand. Very difficult to take stumpings like that. Very well done by the keeper. New batter in, Sanvi Madan, coming into bat. A bit late in the innings, but she is a local grown talent. Another youth coming up through the system in women's cricket today. It's a matchup between experience and upcoming talent. Chetna's on spot with her first ball to Sanvi as well.
Just 3 wickets to go here. Seattle will be looking to wrap this up as soon as possible.
Looking to guide that back. Lots of turn on off here. Niantic was telling me earlier also about the breaking of the wicket. You can really see that come into play now.
And
Great
that
shot by
is
Sanvi, piercing the gap there. Very well done.
really good shot by Sanvi here early on in her innings, taking the pressure off both of these batters here. Good shot.
Just looking at a replay at that. Saw a bit of flight there and just perfectly pierced that straight gap. Well done. Races away to the boundary for 4. Bit of a shorter ball there. Didn't reach the boundary, but the batters do take 2. And that is some quick fire runs going on from Sanvi's end. Last ball of the over. Good turn on offer there, and that wraps up Chase's third. Good over from Dhruti in the first. Coming back for a second now.
Well done, girl. Let's go, Vicky. Let's go.
Just a bit wide there, down leg. Nicks off the keeper's gloves, and the batters do get two off it. Put it on.
Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Energy, ladies.
That's a dot hit to covers there, and I do have our scorer Jay Patel here with us. Jay, how do you talent here pulled together is very good for the future of USA cricket and the future of women's cricket. It's a cracking shot through covers there, racing away to the boundary for four. Still some show of some intent towards the later of the innings. Just look at that replay, a bit fuller of a ball and cracked it through covers, beautifully piecing the gap. Two balls left on the over. Last ball of the over to finish the 17th here. That's a wide ball, and Sanvi gets to face another ball of Dhruti here. That's well guided back behind backward point there. They are only sneaking a single in there. That is over up, and that completes 17 overs of the Spirits innings. Beautiful view of our mountain beside us. Always great here. Just looking at this chart right here, we can see that the runs have been, the Spirits have always been below the run rate of the asking run rate from the Thunders. You know, loss of early wickets also caused the Thunders to be a bit low at the start. Sanvi facing Ira, they actually do practice together a lot in the Seattle region. A good matchup to see on a bigger stage. Has given another wide. Ira seems to be going at the ploy to reach more towards the outside offside. Sanvi is taking all the runs she can get. As well bowled. That is a Yorker. Much closer to the stumps there. The asking run rate has gone up to 32. Just seeing that there, it's very close to the wicket. Good hit right to point. Unfortunately misses the full toss there, and Ira does get the better of Sanvi. And our local homegrown talent, Aishoya Motori, is in to bat here. Just missing the outside edge there. Good first ball by Ira to Aishwarya. And that is given out straight in front of the wicket. Ira picks up another.
Just to last wicket here now for Southern Spirit. Seattle will be looking to wrap this up as quick as possible. Good keeping by Anika here.
Last ball of the over, and that will complete the 18th. Just seeing that again here. Still seeing a bit of movement in the air. A bit of inward movement. Last ball of the over. That was
Great bowling here by Seattle. Just 1 wicket to win here.
Totally agree. Totally agree. 92 runs needed from 12 balls. A bit out of reach for the Spirits here. Seattle Thunders do take this, and I do believe they do qualify for the playoffs with this win. So, Nadik, what do you think of the next matchup we have?
So, this is your second time asking this today, but I'll repeat myself for the new viewers joining in recently. I think it'll be a good matchup. Both teams are really good.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. I was expecting a bit more detailed analysis. That does drift a bit down leg for a wide there. Sorry, just
Is anyone still watching this?
sorry, just a bit of cutout there. We are into the last 2 overs of the game, and the Southern Spirits could hit their 100-run mark here. That is another wide.
And thank you to the 26 viewers tuning in today to watch this beautiful game of cricket and supporting women's cricket.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know without viewers and without all of you guys, we can never grow cricket in the U.S.
We hope you enjoyed our commentary today.
We will be back for the next game as well.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that too.
And we do see the comments you guys leave on the live, so feel free to engage.
And a misfield at the boundary here has allowed that to go all the way for 4.
Another hit straight to extra covers there. 2 balls left in the 19th over. Just 1 over after this remaining. A lot of wides from Dutry here.
She'll be looking to close this over with 2 illegal deliveries to help her get confidence for tomorrow's game.
And as we speak about that, that does wrap up the Seattle Thunder's innings. The Spirits end up 105 for 10 in 18.5, and the Seattle Thunders win the 3rd game of the tournament. A massive victory for the Seattle Thunders, winning by a massive mammoth total of 81 runs. We will be back soon for the Houston Hurricanes and the Rising Stars matchup. See you soon. Stay tuned.